Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through a track that I've made from scratch. I'm going to take you through each of the components. This is a country pop / hip hop type vibe that was inspired by the song by Jesse Murph and Jelly Roll that they did recently called Wild Ones. So let's take a look at this and let's dive right in. So first place I started with this particular track was I wanted to try and find something that would run probably throughout the whole of the track, which in this case happened to be the banjo. So I found this banjo sample on Splice and this is what we had. Now, with this particular sample, it was the wrong chords for what I wanted. So using the chord sequencer up here, I've input some chords that I wanted it to be. And the great thing about Studio One is I can get the sample to follow the chords that I've put in up here, or vice versa. I could have dragged in the sample and then changed this. So what you would basically do is you'd put your chords up here, you'd come over to this left hand side panel over here, you press the I button, and then when you come down, you've got an option to follow the chords. So yeah, there you go. So it says follow chords here. You got universal is what I found worked best on this particular sample. So I used that, and then as you can see, it's copied the chords. Now the original chords were E minor, G, etc. But I wanted E minor 7, B, C, D. So I've got it to follow the chords, and it made it sound a little artifacty. But in this case, because I changed one of the chords so much, but I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the way it warped it. Apologies about the WhatsApp messages. So that's what I had, and that's all I used to get started. So then I started with the percussion, and I figured, well, what I want next is some like snaps or clicks or something like that. So I went over here. And that's what I found, another sample from Splice, and I basically just used this snap sound. So if I just turn off my looper over here and I go back to the beginning, so if you noticed here, I've packaged all my percussion sounds like drums, etc., snaps all into one folder. So I got the snaps, and then I wanted to add something different, but I still wanted to keep that sort of clap snap kind of vibe. So I added some claps. So that gave it, you know, that kind of just gave the track a little bit of a bit of a rhythm. And then I also found this shaker that I quite liked, and then that gave the whole thing just a little bit of movement. And then about every sort of 4 to 8 bars, I like to introduce something new just to keep the track interesting. So the claps come in. In the intro and leading into the chorus, I wanted something a little bit different and something that sounded country. So again, another sample. I found this one here from Splice again, and it was a lap steel sound. Again, I had to change the chords. So what you do is you highlight the chords up here, drag them down to here, and then it'll follow the chords. Or again, like I said earlier, come over here, click on follow chords, universal, and it worked. So and that's pretty much exactly how it sounded. This one didn't change that much at all. It's got like a weird sound to it. So quite simply then, all I did really was sort of build up the actual beat itself. So I went all in on the percussion side of things, and I just jumped straight into the chorus to try and build something from there. And I found some kick samples, some using Drum Monkey. And what I had to do was I had to go in there and make it to how I wanted it. I'll do that in another video on Drum Monkey and how you can use that. There are tons of different drum samplers you can use though. I quite like Drum Monkey. It's one of the few plugins that Unison have made that I actually really do quite like. So we've got a simple kick, clap, closed hats and a shaker. But obviously the chorus there is sounding kind of thin and bare. So the next thing I looked at was obviously trying to add some bigger sounds. So that's where we kind of added some guitars. I also added a bass. The bass in here is from Arna 2, which is part of Slate Digital's packs. And that just gives it like this sort of big fat vibe. Kept it really simple though, because obviously I didn't want it to conflict with what the kick was doing. With the guitars, again, super simple. We added acoustic guitar using Contact. Again, I'll show you how to use Contact in another video. This is not a real guitar. This is a VST plugin. I think it was a 12-string plugin that I used. But I wanted something to sort of counter melody, the main melody. Well, it's not really a melody, but the banjo's kind of doing a lot of the work. So I wanted something to counter that. So I added in this little pick pattern here. Really thin sounding electric guitar as well in the background. I was going to do something really fat and chunky, but when I mixed this in, it actually sounded all right. And then mixed in with the lap steel. So all in, when you add obviously the shaker, I did add some strings later in the song. The other thing I added just to sort of build up into the chorus was some sound effects. So I added like a riser and a crash. So just have a quick listen to what that sounds like. And that just brings us into the chorus. So I'm going to unsolo everything so that you can hear what the entire chorus sounds like. So if you haven't got a guitar to hand and you want to just create a demo like I've been working on this new song, the Contact tools are really great because obviously I can add guitars and have an idea at least of what the song could sound like. As with all the drums, there's no real instruments on any of this. It's just a couple of samples mixed in with some effects and some Contact stuff. The only other thing I added to thicken up the back end of the song was another electric guitar, which is this part here. You'll hear it come in, so you get and you'll also notice I did some string parts as well, so let's just listen to that. And then once I got the main chorus sort of built up, then it was just a case of structuring the song throughout. So I started the intro nice and low, nice and slow, and sort of just the guitar and the lap steel with a banjo. And then introduce that movement. And this is where my verse is going to go. And then just before the verse drops out into the chorus, I added like a brought the lap steel back in, and then obviously dropped it straight into the chorus. Then we've got a second verse, little bit of a change in the second verse with some added guitar here. I've not finished this song. There's loads more to add, but when structuring your songs, one of the things I've been taught by some, far better producers than me, is to try and introduce something new around about every 8 bars. This is going to keep the listener interested. Now, I'm also going to be adding lots of vocal layers to this song, and I'm going to be adding lots of harmonies and backing vocals too. So what I want to try and do is just keep the track moving and getting bigger as it goes along, and therefore keeping the song more interesting to the listener. And that's how you obviously keep them listening to the next part and the next part. Most platforms now, YouTube, Spotify, etc., they're basing pretty much everything on watch time and listen time. So you need to keep people engaged, you need to keep them into the song. So that's how I've made this track and I've put it together. You'll hear the end results very soon, because I'm going to be recording to this track and putting this one out for release once it's fully finished. I may record the guitars again with some actual guitars. But other than that, it's pretty much where I want it. I just got lots to do on the vocal stuff, which again I'll record and I'll show you what I've done with that once it's done. If you found the video useful, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's going to really help me out. Still quite a new channel, just hit past 600 subscribers, so thanks everybody for tuning in who's joining me on this. I am a budding producer. I do have quite a bit of success at getting songs on radio that I've written, but I've always in the past tended to use professionals to do all the work for me. So I'm learning this as I'm making this YouTube channel, and I'm just showing you what I'm using. And if you're a beginner too, then maybe you like these ideas, and if you've got any ideas to share with me, let me know in the comments section and I'll check them out. Until next time, thanks for watching. Back again soon.